Hi, welcome to the inaugural episode of Dutch Cooks. I'm Dutch. We're cooking with Dutch. I don't know, we haven't really come up with a good name yet. But today, I'm going to show you guys how I make ribs. Now, this is going to be like a cooking show where we just cook basic stuff. Maybe not basic, but stuff with shit everybody has that everybody eats. No special tools. Every tool that I have, you should have. So what we're doing today is ribs. What I've got set up here is I got my Weber grill. We're not sponsored by them, but maybe we should be. That'd be great. And I got indirect charcoal coals here that I did with the chimney. Kind of just fill it up halfway, put a little paper, light it up. There you go. So you put them in a corner here, and then I got a roasting pan next to that, away from the coals. Okay? And then what we're going to do is, first thing is you take beer and you pour about half of it into your roasting pan. Now, you're going to need, I figure, about 12 to 14 beers for this recipe. Because this here is going to cook for probably 10 to 12 hours. And you need about a beer an hour. Plus, you need a beer for this and a beer for the spritz. You'll see that. Now, the rest of that is just regular old apple juice. So we got some apple juice and some beer in our roasting pan with our indirect coals. And then over here, let's get this out of the way, that's pretty hot. Yeah. We got our ribbies. Now these are St. Louis style pork ribs, because that's what I like to use. I don't really like baby backs because they don't have enough fat on them and they don't taste as good as St. Louis style. So that's what we're rolling with today. What I did with these things is you cover them in mustard, just regular old yellow mustard. And then you put your rub on there. You kind of rub it in there. You wrap it real tight with saran wrap. Toss it in the fridge for a couple days. I think this one I did 2 days, so 48 hours. Bring it out when like 2 or 3 hours before you start barbecuing. You want to get to nice room temperature. I don't know why, that's just how you do it. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to unwrap our ribs here. And the rub is pretty much kind of whatever you want. But mine is a lot of brown sugar. We're not going to have any exact measurements here either. A lot of brown sugar, like a cup or two. And I just make a lot of rub at once. So like a lot of brown sugar, okay? A lot of smoked paprika, but not as much as brown sugar. So maybe like 2 cups of brown sugar, a quarter cup of smoked paprika. And then you put some garlic, ground garlic in there, some ground onion in there, some onion powder, you know. A lot of salt, black pepper. I put a lot of cayenne in mine because I like mine a little spicy, but still, you know, like a tablespoon or 2. A little chili powder, a lot of cumin, some cumin. And just, you know, kind of stuff you like. You can put cinnamon in there. I don't really like cinnamon in stuff or cloves. I don't really like that kind of stuff. And I don't use mustard powder because we got the mustard already on there. So what we do is we pull these babies out of here. They're going to be nice and gooey. Oh yeah. And a little of that stuff's going to come off. That's all right. But we want them, you know, nice and gooey, because that salt will pull some of the water out, and then it'll go back in as it rests, and it'll be delicious. So you take your ribs here, and you place them over your little, what's it called, little pan there. Now I got the fat side here facing the fire for whatever reason, so the fat renders a little bit better. Alright, get our hands all clean. Then next what you want to do is drink a little beer, because you're going to need to drink, because it's going to take all day. And I don't know how you're going to get through it without a beer, so. Now, if you got a problem with drinking in the morning, because it's early out here, because you got to get an early start, probably shouldn't barbecue. Okay, so then what I got here is I got a little foil pouch with some applewood chips in there. Just dry applewood in a pouch. It's got a little crease in it. And I set that on the grate right above my coals. Okay? The coals are hot enough that that'll make that smoke. And I pretty much only do that once. Because, I mean, all the charcoal and all that, you'll be good enough. So then you take your lid, and your lid has got your thermometer and these little vents there. So what I do is I set it on there so that the smoke from this side comes up and gets pulled across the meat and out the vents. And I guess if you put the vents over here, it just might go up and it won't perfume as well. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these sit here for probably, I don't know, 2 hours, hour and a half. Okay, and then I'll add some coals and we'll be back for that. But the important part of this is low and slow. Okay? You want to do this for a long time. Sorry about the cars. We're in LA. I mean, there's cars. What are you going to do? You want to go real slow for a real long time. 10, 12 hours, like, I see anywhere between 200, 250. Over 250, it ain't gonna work. Well, it'll work, but it won't be as good. And what we're gonna do is throughout this process, we're gonna spritz them. And I'll show you that spritzing later. We'll start that probably about 4 or 5 hours in. That'll keep them moist and good and delicious. So, we're just gonna let this sit for a little bit, let them coals burn down, and then we'll add coals, some more charcoal as we go. Like, I don't know, 6 to 8 briquettes at a time. And then we'll let it sit for another 2 hours or hour. Depending on how fast they burn. You know, you got a lot of wind, might burn a little fast. And go from there. Also, if it gets too hot in there, you need to adjust your grill. And you need to know how to do that before you even start this. The basic thing is, if you got them all wide open, because you got thing down there too, you got all wide open, you can get real hot. If you close a little bit, less oxygen kind of kills the fire, and that's how you deal with temperature on a barbecue. You don't just turn, that's how you turn it down, okay? Yeah, so we're gonna let these sit for a couple hours. I'll be back, and then we'll show you how we do going forward. So recap, ribs, 24 hours in your rub and mustard. Wrap them up tight, put them in the fridge for a while, pull it out 3 or 4 hours before you start. Put your charcoal indirect, you know, not like the meat right under it. You want them off to the side and the meat's over here. Put your little tin foil tray full of beer and apple juice. Apple goes good with pork. That's, I don't know, you just do it. And then you get your little grate, put it on there, put your ribs on, put your little smoker chip bag thing there, lit it up, walk away. Now, this temperature thing's going to be a little off at first just because it is right over the coals. And it is going to be a little hot in there. But trust me, that'll come down. It's heating everything up. You're not burning anything. That's why we're indirect. It'll be golden, I promise. This is a tried and true recipe. See, I can hold my hand over here, so it's not that hot in there. And this is the vent. Alright, we'll see you guys in a couple hours. You should probably drink like 2 beers before that comes back. Now, not to say that you can't drink like 5 beers and take a little nap and miss a couple hours. But it should be about 10 to 12 beers per rack of ribs grilling day. Alright, see you guys in a couple hours. Alright, we're back. It's been about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5. I've added some coals a couple times, but now it's time for the spritz part. So I figured we add some coals and do the spritz part now. And you guys can see how that works. Okay? So, pop the old lid off. And all of you can see that, but the fat's starting to render. It's getting a little dry. It's time for that part. So, that's our bag of smoked stuff. It's all black. That's all we needed it for. It's good to go. We open up our little thing. I grab my tongs and get some charcoal. I don't know, we'll probably put 6 or 8 or 7. Just, you know, enough to keep it around 250. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Okay. The spritzing part. What we do is, I got a spray bottle here that's got like, I don't know, let's say it's 4 parts, okay? 2 parts apple juice, 1 part apple cider vinegar, and the next part is one of them beers I was talking about. You're gonna need some beer for cooking. So we'll just fill that up there. Now we got about 1 part of beer, 1 part apple cider vinegar, and some apple juice. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly spray our meat. Okay? Get it nice and wet. You really want it, you know, make sure you get them ends, okay, the top, all over. And when I say lightly, I have like the mist on, okay? Because I know the jet, sometimes you use that jet, you spray all your seasoning off. We don't want to do that, okay? So not only we gotta mist this thing every half hour or so, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever you want. That'll keep it moist. But you also that tin of, you know, apple juice and beer we had earlier, that keeps it moist too. So it kind of steams in there a little bit, and smokes and barbecues. That's what makes delicious ribs. So let's go another, I don't know. Let's see, it's been a couple hours, like I said. It's been like 5 hours, okay? We're gonna let it go probably another 4. And then that's when we'll get to the next step, and I'll show you what that looks like then. So let that sit. Add coals as need be. You know, keep up with you every hour, every 90-minute, add coals. And then when we get to the next step, I'll be back and I'll show you what that looks like. So, it's been about 4, 5 hours. More like 4. It's evening time. We got about 8 total hours in it. Now is the time where we wrap them up a little bit. Okay? Look at those babies. Nice and dark. Got the fat cap there. These are ready to be wrapped. So, what we do for that is we've got like a couple layers of foil right here and a piece of parchment. And we're just gonna take these off of the actual grill, pop them face down, okay? And then we're gonna get over here, and we're just gonna wrap them up, okay? Get it nice and wrapped. Get our foil over here. You probably need a couple pieces of foil. But you want to get these nice and wrapped. And the key is, once you get them going, take the rest of your spritz. See, we don't have a ton of that left because we've been using most of it all day. If you don't have any left and you had to make more, that works too. Just use apple juice. But I'm going to use the rest of our spritz. You know, we've got about probably a half cup or a cup. Okay? And I'm going to dump that in the pouch with the ribs. And then we're going to seal that puppy up nice and tight. Okay? Probably get some more foil here. You're always going to use a bunch of foil and a bunch of everything else. And I don't know, you just stick with it, huh? Alright, so you get that wrapped up nice and tight. Okay? And then, with those juices in there, You want it back on the grill. Okay? And this time, you can kind of crank your heat up. I'm going to add a lot more coals. I'm going to get this up to, like maybe 350, 400 over here. And they'll bake a little bit, and they'll steam a little bit, and they'll get nice and good. I'm going to do that for like an hour, hour and a half. I mean, you can't really overdo it, but fucking people. All right, you can't really overdo it, but you definitely don't want to underdo it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that, put some more coals on there, get a little heat going. Hour, hour and a half. And then I'm gonna pull them off, and they're done cooking. I say that, but there's two options. I'm gonna pull them off in an hour, hour and a half, and I'm going to leave them in the foil and everything, put them on a sheet pan, take them inside, set them on the countertop, and I'm going to leave them in that foil for an hour, not just untouched. I'm done. When it's dinner time, we'll crack them open, show you guys, we'll go that way. But I'm done. Your other option is you leave them in here for about an hour, hour and a half, okay? Take them inside, do whatever you want to do to them. Let them rest for like at least an hour or so. And then when it's time to eat them, some people put sauce on there and put it on a ripping hot grill for a minute, just get a little char, okay? I don't sauce my ribs. That's weird. If you did it right, you don't need any sauce. But I will, when we do the reveal and cut them up and all that and the finishing, I'll show you guys how we do a sauce, if you must have one. But for right now, we're just gonna get our tongs here. It's important to have more than one set of tongs. And that's because some of them are my charcoal tongs, some of them are my food tongs, and you always need another pair just for shit that could happen. So first of all, what we're going to do, or what we're going to do now is, like I said, we're going to add some coals. We can raise the temperature a little bit right now because we're not as worried. It'll be low and slow with that juice in there and that spritz mix. Okay, we'll just get a couple more of these in there. You know, you still want to check on this though. Don't let it go. But you can pretty much think of it like we added some coals, and now we're just gonna bake this for an hour in foil wrapping. And then we're going to take it off, take it inside, and let it rest for an hour. In the foil and everything. Just let her be. And then, that's pretty much it. But I'll see you guys in, when we're ready to do that. Hour and a half. We'll show you finished ribs. We made it. It's been 10, maybe 12 long hours, but our ribs are finally done. Ready to cut, ready to eat. But first, I did promise you guys I would do barbecue sauce if you need it. But you won't need it. But if you must have it, this is it. Alright, so you just get some of your favorite barbecue sauce. I like Sweet Baby Ray's. And what I like to do is I have a little bit of the rub left over. Okay? Just like a teaspoon. Okay? I got probably half cup of sauce there, probably a half cup of rub, some mustard, just again, yellow mustard. You don't really want to use Dijon or anything like that, because that's, I don't know, that white wine shit doesn't really taste good in barbecue. Okay, and the last thing is apple cider vinegar, and quite a bit of it. And because you want this sauce thin, real thin. It's like a Carolina vinegar mustard sauce. Okay, mix that up. You can pour it on your ribs and then grill them again. Just get the caramelization or do whatever you want. But yeah, it should be like pale red. I don't know. It's basically mustard and vinegar. That's what you really want. That's how you make barbecue sauce. Other than that, you shouldn't need barbecue sauce. So, here we go with the actual ribs. Now, like I said, I covered them, I pouched them, and I threw them on the grill for, another hour, hour and a half. And then I took them off the grill, and I just let them sit here in their pouch for, I don't know, it's been an hour and 15 minutes or something. They're still plenty warm, trust me, okay? But bring those babies out, and there you go. You've got ribs. Now, like I said, if you want to take these and put them back on the grill, smother some barbecue sauce on there, and char them up, that's your own weird little prerogative, and I'm not necessarily going to yell at you. But what I do is you just flip them over, and in between the bone, give them a little cut, and you'll have some ribs. Let me get some of these better ones out here, and we'll do a little, see if we can pull a bone. Like I said, these are St. Louis, so if you get towards the end a little bit, you still have the fat on them. But that's a pretty good looking one. You got a smoke ring. You got juicy pork. Yeah, I mean, looks pretty juicy to me. And that's how you do ribs. It's kind of easy. Takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of beers. But that's how you make good food. So you put these on a plate, and then you eat them. Side dishes, I don't know. We don't have. Tonight we're doing like coleslaw. You want a vinegar coleslaw. This is gonna be a little sweet. Something to cut through the sweetness. We're having pasta salad, white bread, and some like sweet pickles or bread and butter pickles, spicy pickles, and barbecue shit. We'll get around to side dishes later, but this is how I make ribs, and they'll be great. And you can do variations, anything you want to do. But like I said, ribs, perfect ribs. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you guys like this stuff, we'll do more of it. We'll do more of the gaming, more of the cooking, more of the podcast, just more of Dutch. Because I'm awesome. I hope you guys love this. I had fun doing it. I got to drink beer in the middle of the day, and I got to make pork. Two of my favorite things in the world. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time, bye.